Hey guys, great to be back again. Got a very special treat. Chris has always been very, very kind to us. Let us have this place where we can meet every week. It's a sure blessing. And now we're going to be blessed by a heartfelt message. I love Ecclesiastes, and I want to see about the U in F.U.E.L, right?
Right on.
Chris Conneen.
All right. Thank you, Brian, gentlemen. Yeah, this isn't mine. This is his, right? And I'm just a steward here, and we're all gathered, and I love it. So it's not me allowing this to happen. It's him, and I'm just trying to be a good steward and walk the walk. Bill asked me, Brian's poked me, and here I am. Gonna kind of chat about a couple things, but I'm feeling compelled right now. I'm on a little bit of a personal mission, but I think this is a kind of a post-pandemic situation where isolation becomes easy, you know? People tend to, COVID brought this out in a lot of us, you know, the ability just to stay at home and not do anything. Isolate, and there's all kinds of studies and statistics out there right now about, you know, America, 30% of Americans feel lonely at least once a week. You know, that sounds kind of normal. What really kind of shocked me was 10% of Americans feel lonely every day. That's pretty sad. That's really sad. And F.U.E.L, faith, unity, evangelism, and leadership. The U is unity, right? And the verse, Ecclesiastes, I don't quite have it memorized. What is it, 4:9 through 12, right? Two are better than one.
Amen.
Two are better than one. I mean, that just goes without saying almost for everything. Not quite everything. You don't want to catch a cold twice, you know, or get sick, have two different things going on with you physically. But two are usually better than one because they have a good return, right? We were just talking about compound interest, you know, working together, having a good return. But two working together, their labor is multiplied, right? If either of them falls down, I'm going to help my brother up. But if nobody's there to help me up, especially at my age, I got to kind of roll over and get up on one knee and, you know, kind of push up, you know, and then stand up, grab the chair, something help me up, right? Mm-hmm. But if my brother's there with me, he just holds out his hand and just lifts me right up. It's pretty awesome. Pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. That is sad in so many ways. But how can we keep, what this says, but how can one keep warm alone? It's going to be a good challenge for you up there in the cold weather in your tent or whatever by yourself. I got my wife to keep me warm, you know, when we're doing this hike thing. It's hard to stay warm when you're alone, unless you got like a 20 below sleeping bag and some warmer and all that other stuff going on in there. Though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves, right? A cord of three strands is not quickly broken. So the metaphor, you know, is obvious, you know, and I know you guys understand this. You're way wiser than I am. You know, one string I could probably break. I almost brought one, but I'm like, these guys are wiser than I am. I don't need to bring a string up here to show you how easy I can break it. Put three of them together and watch how I strain to try and break that same strand woven together, like the rope that was up on the screen before. Unity it just comes in so many different ways. Synonym for unity. What's another word we can use for unity? Together. Bonding. Camaraderie. Any others?
Joined.
Joined. Yes. collaborative, wholeness, oneness. In the tech world, we call it integrated. Integrated is pretty awesome. And for an independent operator in the restaurant business, it took us 20 years, probably took us closer to 30 years to become integrated. Most independent restaurants, really independent, like when we were back in downtown Melbourne 30 years ago, or on Post Road in the little tiny place where Long Doggers is, some 25 years ago, our server would come up to you with a pen and a pad and write this ticket down. How many of you have seen the old school point of sale? I think it's been in many restaurants, but you have this piece of paper that they rip off after they take your order, and then they go over to the kitchen and they put it on this clothesline with a clothespin, and what do they do with it? Throw it down to the kitchen. Whoosh, and this ticket goes flying down there, right? So that's old school technology for the restaurant. That's how we started, literally. A piece of paper, and you hand it off to the cook, and the cook tries to read your handwriting, and there you go. Fast forward, we have these computers now, and you just go over and touch the computer, and the order goes back to the kitchen, and it prints up right in front of them. Or even better now, they have these digital boards, digital screen. There's no printer. The cooks just look at a screen and go, here's my next order, and just keep going. That's great, but how does that unify things for the restaurant? A little bit more collaborative technology happening, right? A little less clunky, and you're able to read computerized print and stuff. But now we fast forward to inventory. Our inventory in the whole restaurant, there's thousands of items in this restaurant. Every time our server touches the screen and orders something, that takes that one item and those ingredients out of our inventory. What used to be a physical, again, go around to every shelf, count this, weigh this, go to your computer and your calculator, calculate how much this weighs and what it costs and what the value is. Talk about clunky and archaic, almost one step above an abacus kind of process. Now, every time she touches the computer and says, I'll take a cup of soup, all the ingredients that are in that cup of soup are now taken out of our inventory automatically. That goes to our back of the house computer, which is also integrated with our QuickBooks now, online, which is also integrated with our inventory, our food costs, our labor cost, our teamwork scheduling, the reservation program at the front door. So everything in this restaurant is now tied together with one system. It's amazing and efficient and way stronger, way stronger. So from a restaurant metaphor or analogy, it's how technology can even unify things in that tech place back there virtually. That's another way. But from a human place, I think we know from the verse itself, and just talking about being together and joined and collaborative and helping each other up, holding each other accountable, the iron sharpening iron, the impact of men sharpening each other up, accountability. Those things are priceless. I can tell you from an entrepreneurial place, I lack accountability because I'm my own boss most days, if my wife's not around. Which she isn't. She doesn't like working in the restaurant, which is, thank you, Lord, we're good, we're balanced. She's at home and I'm here, and she takes care of the books. But for real, I don't have a whole lot of accountability many days. So I look to you guys, I look to friends, I look to mentors, I look to my Friday morning Bible study that meets here every Friday morning. Several of you guys come to it. Daryl Foster started a Bible study at Jimmy's restaurant probably 20 years ago, a long time ago. And Jimmy's went through a little construction thing, so he didn't have anywhere to meet. Told him, you guys could come here if you want. we're not going to make breakfast, but we're here. We're opening up, and the trucks are coming, and we'll just open the door for you.
We started at Sonny's and then Jimmy's.
Sonny's, okay.
Not Sonny's, oh gosh, the breakfast place up on the corner that shut, Bob Evans.
Bob Evans.
Started at Bob Evans.
And then went to Jimmy's.
Went to Jimmy's for a few years, and yeah.
Several years, yeah. And then it went to Perkins for like a few months, and Daryl told me he really didn't like it. I'm like, well, you can come here. So they did, and that was about 10 guys showing up here on Friday mornings. And nowadays we have what, about 60 men?
I'd say at least 60 men showing up. We had to break up to 6 groups now.
Yeah.
Breakout groups, just so we still get the same small group type of instruction.
It is God just connecting men, helping us realize we need each other. Without each other, kind of self-will, that ego, that pride thing just starts to get a little tempting, like I can handle this problem, I can do this, I can conquer that, I can fix this, I can fix that. And then my buddy says, hold on a second, hold on, let me reel you back in here, and you could probably do it a little bit differently, maybe a little bit better if I helped you, or maybe there's a different way. So yeah, it's been an awesome journey. And that accountability for me is definitely with other men. A small group, my wife and I have a couples group that we go to every other Monday. Several men's groups, Trey's Impact Men's Ministry. I don't know who said it first, but someone said, do you have 4 or 6 guys, depending on how much you weigh, that would jump to the opportunity to carry your casket? Do you have 4 to 6 men that would be there to carry your casket? And I do. I am truly, truly blessed. And I probably need 6 guys to carry mine, but I have those 6 guys. I'm confident in that. And that humbles me and makes me super grateful, keeps me accountable. Gives me confidence. My spiritual gift, going through those spiritual classes, hospitality, obvious, duh. But faith always came up as my #1 spiritual gift. And that is solidified by having strong mentors and people around you, that somebody's got my back, The team here, the team next door, 28 North, a team that you maybe played sports on as a kid or still do, Team sports are obvious analogy to there is no I in team, right? Your coach told you when you were young. I can't do this restaurant thing by myself. No server can do their job by themselves. No cook can do his job by himself and really take care of the guest. It takes a team of like 6 or 7 people just to really enrich one guest, from the scheduler to the host to the server to the food runner to the busser to the cook to the dishwasher to the prep cook. All those people are involved in your one experience today and more. Obviously Robin's at home paying the bills, so the lights are on, the gas are on. So there's so many people involved in that. And that is another obvious example of unity, just in this restaurant business. One of the best compliments I can get as an owner is when somebody compliments our staff, just an awesome, incredible, just recognition. And we had a guy about 3 weeks ago coming in, sitting at these triangular booths out here, and he stops me and says, "Hey, are you the manager?" I'm like, "I'm whatever you need right now." And he goes, "Well, I just want to tell you something." And I was like, "Okay." And he goes, it's not bad. That's usually the first thing they say. I'm like, "Okay, whew, yeah, thank you," because I hear lots of bad every day, But he's like, "No, I just want to tell you, and I also want to ask you, what's going on here?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, what's going on here? I don't know. What are they doing, Do I need to go look at the cameras? What's going on?" He's like, "No, man, your team is like happy. They're happy." And I go, "Awesome. Yay." And not condescending, I'm like, "Yeah, that's what we try to do every day, right?" Our purpose in this restaurant is we enrich our community and provide incredible dining experiences. The first portion of that is we enrich our community. And that's not you all, because I'm doing orientation next Saturday for our new team members once a month. And the first thing we do is go over this purpose. It's so important. It's our mission, right? It's our restaurant's mission statement. And when I tell them, we enrich our community, and they're like, okay. I ask them, who's the community? Who's the community? Like Viera, right? Rockledge, right? The guest, coming in the door. I'm like, yes, and who else? They're like, well, maybe the delivery guy or something, or the DoorDash guy, or, I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, who else? And it takes them a while to get there. I'm like, what about your team member right next to you, the guy sitting right next to you in orientation? He goes, yeah, them too. I'm like, let's start there. Let's enrich each other first. If Randy's got Chet's back, Chet's got Bill's back, and Bill's got Pedro's back, and so on and so on, the guests are just like, what's going on here? Just like this guy said, what's going on here? And I'm like, confused for a second. He's like, they're happy. What was really amazing is he put a 5-star review. It was super awesome. 5-star review on our whatever Google review. And he said that he eats out a lot, and he's been discouraged by this just negativity, this division, this dissent, I don't know, going out to eat in hospitality restaurants where we're supposed to be hospitable and nice and serve them. And he goes, people are just not happy, and they're just not friendly, and I've had bad experiences. And I'm like, I'm sorry. He goes, no, it's different here. I'm like, cool. And he goes, he does all the time now, but he wrote on there that he used to fold up these dollar bills in little origami t-shirts and little shapes. And he goes, because of Pizza Gallery and Grill, I'm now doing that again. And I was like, that is awesome. That was just, I get welled up and warmed up when I hear that. And because of Casey, one of our servers, she was so nice and so friendly and so awesome, he started folding up these little cool origami shirts again, and he gave me one last week, so it was really cool. So that unity thing, that camaraderie thing, that collaborative thing, that joined thing, it not only feels good and not only is good, it's necessary. We're humans, and we need that interaction. And thank God, thank Jesus for the Holy Spirit is in me, and I can talk to him any and every day of the moment. I'm not praying just in the morning, I'm praying all day long. But I do need tangible discussions, Otherwise, I think I'm going crazy sometimes just hearing all the voices in my head and talking to them. I'm like, okay, which one was that? Was that the good guy or the bad guy, So I really need that affirmation from someone to come up and say, yes, Chris, you're on the right path, or hold on a second, whoa, you're getting a little off course here. So lots of opportunities there, and obviously the antonyms to unity, division, discord, strife, all that negative stuff that we hear way too much about in our society and on social media, and cancel culture. I think I talked a little bit about that last time I was up here. Who killed Cupid? I think it was during Valentine's Day or something. I spoke a year or so ago.
February.
Yeah, and Cupid's all about love, that little angelic little baby, right? And but cancel culture is a real thing. Brian was talking about something that was going viral on his Facebook page today about some fishermen, getting attacked and all this. So I try to stay off social media. But right now I am a little bit on social media, and I want to show you something. I'm going to have to come back here for a second, Brian. I'll be off camera, sorry. But I do want to shift gears a little bit. And if you will bear with me and watch this with me.
of sexual slavery, she needs more than rescue. She needs true freedom. Freedom goes beyond escaping captivity, getting out of a brothel, or getting off the streets. It takes time and will be difficult. She's used her strength to survive. Now she will use her strength to start a new life. It requires safety and a look into the past. And the renewal of hope in a future. A life that is truly free. There must be a safe place to share. An offer of friendship. A chance to live into her potential. And to simply play.
All of the bills are on me today. Don't bring anybody a check.
Where she can plan for the future and find joy in the present. And slowly, but eventually, she finds true freedom.
All right, you're probably wondering, where did that come from and how does that have anything to do with unity? That picture is part of this conversation, and
Mild hearing loss can double the risk of dementia.
Mild hearing loss can triple the risk of
Dementia, we're talking about us again.
We're not trying to scare you.
no dementia commercial.
already doing something about your hearing, or the hearing of someone you care about.
48.
So, what does that have to do with unity and how am I getting here? And this is not a shameless plug. This is a passion. Like Randy, Mr. Philanthropy here himself, seriously, you're an inspiration to me, Randy. This is an inspiration for my wife and I. This is not a shameless plug. This is a passion. And the title of our mission for the girls is On Purpose, because we have 4 daughters. And it's for them, and it's for the girls that don't have a voice. And this human trafficking thing is real. It's not just in the third world country, wherever this young lady was from, Asia or something. You know, it's here. It's in Brevard County. It's Orlando. It's Tampa. These ports are places where they are brought in. It's also not just some girl that's stolen from baby, you know, and brought to America or brought to some other country. It's families bringing their kids into some form of money, you know. And human trafficking is horrible. It's a huge industry, some billion-dollar industry that is sickening. That, unlike the drug industry, you know, when you sell a drug, it's gone, right? When you sell a human, they're constantly recycled again and again and again and again. So it is a, I don't know what the word, pandemic, egregious, whatever. It's just a horrific, horrible thing. And to be blessed with 4 daughters, be careful what you ask for, men, and a granddaughter. I'm just in a place that I really, I hate what I've found out is true. And I didn't know anything about human trafficking until about 5 years ago when I met Jenny Pruitt, who owned Juice and Java, another great restaurant over in Cocoa Beach. And she was doing this thing called Freedom Fighters. And they were hiking for building awareness. And what they said was they were doing what they love to fight what they hate? Are you doing what you love and fighting what you hate? You know, whatever that passionate thing that we're trying to get rid of. So this is where the unity, collaborative, joined, wholeness, oneness thing comes in. It's called crowdfunding, right? Has anybody heard of crowdfunding? If we all need 50 bucks in here to do something right now, we all chip in $2 each, we'll be at 50 bucks, right? So we just funded a $50 campaign with only $2 out of my pocket. So Atlas Free is an amazing organization. This hike that my wife and I are about ready to take off on is in the Andes of Peru. It's 100 miles in 10 days to 16,000 foot elevation. My wife and I are native Floridians. I've never been to 16,000 foot elevation. I've been to 12,000, but there's another big difference in 4,000 more feet. You know, I'll find out when I get there. And as you already mentioned, be careful. It's serious. Altitude sickness, you know, and heart issues and all those things. I mean, less oxygen, and I mean, it's real. So I'm nervous. I'm very nervous, but I'm also doing this for a purpose, not for me, not for Robin. Any help that you put into this passionate cause that my wife and I are hiking for and fighting for goes directly to them. None of this comes to Robin and I. Let me make that really clear. Matter of fact, you can just donate to their site. You don't have to donate to our personal hike, you know. You can go right to the site, you know, or to one that I'm sure you all give, you know, churches, tithing. God has called us, you know, to tithe 10%, right? It's part of this crowdfunding where I tithe to my home church, Church at Viera. My little piece helps pay the bills and keep the pastors going and put a roof over their head and let them minister to us, you know. Missions, yes. This mission, you know, that's disguised as a restaurant is funded by many people putting little bits in. Your $10, $15, $20 lunch didn't pay the light bill, but it paid part of the light bill, you know? So thank you for that. And I am excited, I'm honored, and I'm privileged with the ability to do something like this, and I don't want to squander it. So at the end of this month, in about 3.5 weeks, my wife and I take off and acclimate in Cusco, Peru for a couple days, three days, get used to that 12,000 foot elevation without doing really anything, just breathing 12,000 foot air, which is less oxygen, and then starting out on this 100-mile hike. And I'll be asking for lots of prayers, you know, leading up to that, asking for you to think about, you know, contributing. We're not looking for, you know, my wife and I, we raised $10,000 5 years ago when we hiked Yosemite, this amazing, beautiful hike, 18 miles in one day. About killed me, you know. I'm coming downhill from 10,000 foot elevation to like 5,000 in one day and 18 miles will put a hurting on your knees, you know, and I was 50 already then. So this is 100 miles at a very slow pace, you know, slow and steady, 1 mile an hour, you know, easy peasy, right? At 16,000 feet might not be so easy peasy, but anything you would consider to support it would be amazing. And in doing so, I told Bill to put this out here, but he was confused about not putting it out on the email today. But I said, tell everybody they got a free lunch. Come to Pizza Gallery and Grill, you get a free lunch today. And he's like, he wasn't sure if how that would be, you know, taken, and maybe nobody would come, or maybe the place would be packed. But today's lunch is on me, and you make a consideration. Make a consideration to whatever your cause is, because your piece is going to a bigger cause. That I don't have that deep a pocket. I'm not a rich man, you know, when it comes to the bank account. I am rich right here. Very, very, very rich and very blessed. And I just know, I mean, when I start watching some of those videos, and there was one other one that I was going to show, but don't want to, I mean, I started crying this morning. I really did. I was like, and I'm getting emotional now. It's like, whew, heavy, You know, heavy stuff that these less fortunate children are taken advantage of, you know, and 78% of those trafficked are females, and they're just taken advantage of. And that is disheartening, it's sickening, and, you know, bless you, Lance. I don't have the answer. I don't know if it's, you know, prevention or retention or policing or, you know, I don't know what it is, you know. I just know that there's a lot of different causes that can help, you know, a bigger picture. Little bits of assistance and momentum help the greater cause. I'm one of the strands to thousands of strands that are being put together, you know, in this crowdfunding organization that has hubs all around the world, educating, canceling, preventing, restoring, rehabilitating, housing people all around the world. So check out Atlas Free. Do what you love, fight what you hate. And if we can do that together, let's do it together. You can call me anytime to help you fight your fight. And today, lunch is on him through me.
Way to go. Amen.